Welcome back to SA Sports Show. I'm here with a very good friend of mine, Krotiris. How are you, Chris?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
State champion, Australian champion in the world of bodybuilding.
Correct.
First of all, how did you get into bodybuilding?
Funny stories. I was only actually going to the gym and then I just wasn't getting any growth, with no progress.
Yeah.
Engaged a PT. And then he just asked me, how seriously do you want to take on a level from 1 to 10? I said 10 being extreme. And took it on board. And then within about 12 weeks, we saw some great growth and development. And then he said, well, I can see how strict you are. Do you want to get serious and consider competing? So I just grabbed that opportunity 4 years ago and just, haven't looked back since.
Because you're a top-level soccer player in your day, and I suppose the training and commitment from a team sport to something individual must be like chalk and cheese.
Very different. So like you said, you're going from a team environment now to something that's basically yourself, you're selfish, you're just purely dieting, and it's just so many things involved about just focusing on yourself. And then it's just, it's another extreme.
Because when you look at bodybuilding, you do some of the photos of these guys are just absolutely massive, And I know, and we'll see lots of photos as we're chatting along. You are so incredibly stripped. I can't believe the weight you've lost in your face.
Yep.
Look, I know you've just come back from the Nationals, and here's your gold. One of these are your first place. There it is. That's his gold medal in bodybuilding, which is absolutely fantastic. But your commitment, your diet, you must have been starving over the last couple of weeks, because you went from the state championships to the national championships very, very close.
Very quickly, So they do that on purpose so they don't have to go through this grueling stage of still dieting.
It was grueling, wasn't it?
Oh, it was really hard. So basically, December is when I started really going through this cut phase. And then since December to now, I've not had one cheat meal, I haven't had a drink. It's just been 7 days a week, the same food since December.
I know I was chatting to you earlier in the year, and you're actually eating everything you wanted just about. So it's interesting. You put on a huge amount of weight.
Yep.
Then, obviously training's at the extreme.
Yep.
And then you stop eating, but you're still training at the extreme.
Training at the extreme.
All your muscles, all your bodies, and as we're seeing in the some of those photos. Yep. There's no fat there at all.
No, so we got down to, so when I first started, I was 77 kilos in December at around 15% body fat. On stage on Sunday, I was 64 at 4%.
Wow.
So.
And very, very hungry.
Very, very hungry. So my calorie intake was around 1,900 a day.
Yep.
And at my peak when I was at 77 was around 4,500.
Yeah. Let's go back to the state championships. And I know I spoke to you prior to that. Very, very nervous, of course. And you said, if I get first or second or third, I might be able to get to the Nationals, which obviously was your goal.
Yep.
First of all, I know you had lots of family in the audience, so that makes it even tougher to perform, because it is a performance, isn't it?
It is, and when you're there, you're in the Norwood Town Hall here in SA, so there's hundreds of people there. The light's on you, so it is a bit of a daunting thing to be on stage by yourself in front of all these people in pretty much shorts, and that's it. So
and you had your routine, didn't you? Because
correct.
One thing is to get your body sculptured to what you want to present.
Yep.
But then how do you present it? And so that must be a skill and a huge percentage of time in itself preparing for a competition.
Correct. So you're not just judged on how your body looks. There's also a performance. So you got. For this show that I did, there was 8 certain poses that I had to do.
Right, okay.
And I was judged on that plus my condition.
Yeah, that's amazing. So then you've only had a week or so. Then you're off to the Nationals. So still starving yourself.
Yep.
Your expectations, obviously. I mean, I know I spoke to you before that you were so proud, and we were all very proud that you got first place here in South Australia. But I think you were just happy just to be part of a national championship.
Definitely. The goal was, if I did place in SA, just to go over there and enjoy the experience.
Yeah, but to win it, what about that?
To win it, that was just icing on the cake.
Yeah.
But the whole journey for me was it was good.
Yeah. So what sort of, say, I mean, I love my fitness, and I sneak in a probably 45-minute to a 50, 60-minute session every other day. Well, what was your training routine? So especially say the last 4 months when you're really serious about that you've got to now compete.
Yep. So you're training. I was training 7 days a week.
Yep.
My sessions could take up to 2 to 3 hours because I'd also do cardio.
Plus you're married, plus you've got 2 children, and plus you're one of the major senior management at Apex Steels.
Correct. So my schedule was very hectic. So one of the things that I said to my wife, or one of the things we did was...
So still your wife?
Still my wife, barely. But one of the sort of, not conditions, but he said, if you're going to do this, make sure you do it. That doesn't impact the kids.
Yeah.
So getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, training to 6:30, coming home.
And eating just meals, because you just can't go and your meals have to be prepared to the to the millimetre.
So I was lucky I engaged a good friend who's a butcher up my way. So my lunches and dinners, he prepared it all. So I took that out of my life, made it easy, but everything had to get weighed to the gram.
Look, I know we've got a lot of photos that we're seeing at the moment, so we're chatting. What's your body point of view? What do you feel is your special? What do you think you had over the rest? Your shoulders? Was it your pecs? Was it your glutes?
More so, I reckon I had a strong back and strong pecs for my size with a tiny waist. I really had a small waist compared to the rest. Even at my age, my waist was tiny. And
what about the budgie smugglers? Were you comfortable with those on stage?
You get comfortable with them. But at the national level, that's what I had to wear.
We see that, Board shorts are pretty comfortable.
That you're comfortable with coming out, but on the national level, in those budgie smugglers is, that's something different.
Oh, that's fantastic. And so, look, we were chatting before. You've got a great opportunity now to go to the world championships. I mean, I know we're turning your life upside down now, but you must be considering it. I mean, I know you've only just received a letter in the mail to be invited. I mean, whether you do it or not, you've just got a letter to say you are now invited to the world championships with your name on it.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah, it is a wow. That's another commitment itself. So I would love to go, but there's family you got to consider. It's work now. There's so many other commitments. If I was younger and single, definitely. But when you've got 2 young kids,
Can I say one thing? I've got all the medals. We're seeing lots of great photos. You've had an incredible couple of weeks having to perform on stage to get yourself in the best condition of your life. That people like myself will never, my body's never, ever going to be like that. You look cooked. You look like you're really tired.
I'm exhausted. Now that it's all done and dusted and I'm down to earth now, I'm exhausted now.
So world champions is like, wow.
I still got to do it now for another, and I still got to do this if I do that for another 4 weeks, and my body's already at its maximum output.
Is it a sport that you're going to look at a sort of another 10-year window, or is it a sport now that I don't know if I can put my body through this again? Is it perhaps one of those?
I think it's more so that, because your body's going up and down. You can't go from one extreme completely, then cutting, dieting, and being super strict for 20 weeks.
Because it's not the big massing that we see, those big, but yours is like incredibly strict. And you look how fine you are. I mean, you take your shirt off and you're seeing every single muscle on your body.
Those big boys are doing the same thing. It's no different. They're just on a different level.
And you're just sort of feeling, wow, can I still put my body under this stress year after year after year?
And it is. It's mentally tiring. People don't understand how tiring is mentally after all this is happening, because you go through your ups and downs. You have your bad days. You have your good days. I heard
this from you a couple of years ago. You've done very well again in the state championships.
In 2019.
You've taken it this time obviously to another level. You knew what to do. You knew how to be probably another step which you needed to be. So if you go back to that level, it's going to be harder again.
Yeah, correct. I knew this was going to be hard. I just didn't realise how hard this was going to be. Now 4 years on from where I did it last time, this was just very hard, to the point where there was days I said, I just can't do this.
Just before is it one of those sports now that, I noticed we got gyms on every corner now, every corner, that it's just getting more and more popular because, when you start doing, a little bit of Versa climber and you start with the row machine and the cross train, there's a few weights, and you start looking and say, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm going to take this to the next level. Is the industry or the sport in itself, is that happening in South Australia that you're seeing more and more competitors because of probably the availability of being fit and fitness centres around South Australia?
I think so. I think also people now are just taking opportunities now. The sport's changing now. So when I did it 2019, obviously we're going through COVID, it didn't take off, but now for some reason the last year it's just gone crazy. Yeah. Everyone's loving it.
It was absolutely packed at the Nord. You had probably 4 or 5 times more competitors than 3 or 4 years ago.
Definitely.
And look, I'm going to the gyms of late, and I'm seeing guys that are now posing in the mirrors, and they say, "Well, I think they're going to take it to the next step."
Yeah, it's definitely growing, and it's not just this big boys. It's now your fitness category, your classic category. So there's so many more divisions now. A lot more people are taking opportunities.
And you're the national champion. What about that?
Yes.
Mate, congratulations. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, mate.
Really am. Really well done. And I know 3 years ago you were very successful, or 4 years ago, and you really brought home the bacon, as to speak, even though you'd probably like to eat that now. Yeah,
well, that's the first thing we pretty much ate as soon as we finished was pizza, bacon, ice cream. So.
Oh, mate, fantastic. Thanks so much for joining us on SA Sports Show.
Thank you.
And we'll be back after the break.